Many people have called Nostradamus the seer, while many more people disagree. I think people who naively believe everything that they were told are blind, while many believe that I am blind for failing to see what they thought as clear, undisputed evidence. Whatever you believe, I think you must agree that we can't see what's in front of us because truth is smeared by the many twisted lies. The seducers may spread fake news while scholars may join the chief and run as crusaders under his cross. Then the sharp right, our sharp left, will draw in the contented ones. Then the sterile synagogue received by the infidels was attacked. Miserable and sad, the attacked Jewish people and their faith felt wings clipped. Is this the end of the VAR? I mean, tolerance for variance? Tolerance of various people in religion are part of the great power's change. Can you imagine what this has done to the young generation? I think it is ruin to the people when they are of age. We live in the country is seen to grow hange more. Of the church mean the blood will be poured forth, as abundant as water. 11 people died during the baby naming ceremony in Pittsburgh. A tragedy for a long time, imprinted in our minds that will not be restrained. Woe, woe, not only the clergy ruin and grieve, the congregation mourn the loss of their friends, but everyone is in shock. If it is Jewish faith this time, will the Buddhist temple be next? How about the Catholic Church? Since when is being different a crime? America is a great democracy. It should not be affected by the power of kings. The sacred seat should be put where the substance of the body and the spirit be resorted and received as the true seat. But by the great number of tears shed from top to bottom and from the bottom to the very top, a life is lost through a game with too much faith. Don't you think so many of today's politicians have played faith like a game? And look what that has led to. Sharp division in people to die of thirst through a great deficiency. In the House, our congressmen and women interpret laws governing the people the way they see fit. Blind followers, rednecks, white supremacists, hoary-headed will hold the course. Which will change the new government? There is little people like us can do, except wish for de-escalation of useless hatred. Many of us silently wish for divine intervention. Begone, all of you on both sides. Will the violence only end with more violence? Will the anger appeased by the blood of the red ones? For the ones thinking I am twisting Nostradamus' quotes to meet my political agendas, please look again on Nostradamus Century 8 Quatrain number 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and 100, and continue to check Century 9, Quatrain numbers 1 and 2. This is continuing 8 quatrains clustered together. Since I began researching Nostradamus 2 years ago, I have found clusters and clusters of quatrains tied together with clues of related events. And this time, my seemingly awkward verbiage are all quotes taken directly from those quatrains in sequence. If you think I made all these up, search Nostradamus and the quatrain numbers, and you will know that I have not changed a word. Start with Century 8, Quatrain 95, quote, "The seducer will be placed in a ditch and will be tied up for some time. The scholar joins the chief with his cross. The sharp right will draw the contended ones. do I need to say anything? The words were published in a book 500 years ago. The next quatrain, Century 8, Quatrain 96, actually has some very sad hidden message. Quote, "The sterile synagogue without any fruit will be received by the infidels. The daughter of the persecuted of Babylon, miserable and sad, they will clip her wings." The synagogue attacked is Tree of Life congregation. Why call a Tree of Life sterile? Why call it without any fruit? Is it a hint that the attack symbolized the end of our Tree of Life? What does "will be received by the infidels" mean? Infidel is a person who has no religion or whose religion is not that of the majority. Does that mean the hatred may spread to other religious minorities? Then the next line, persecuted of Babylon, according to my web search, means Jews. But the word Babylon can also be a hint of the baby naming ceremony. No explanation needed for miserable and sad. But I wonder, what does clip her wings mean? More information is revealed in Century 8, Quatrain 97. Quote, "At the end of the Var, the great powers change. Near the bank, 3 beautiful children are born. Ruin to the people when they are of age. In the country, the kingdom is seen to grow and change more." Var means variety when I searched for meanings. And we can't deny that we are in the time of change. I wonder if near the bank means riverbank. Our children now are born under the influence of money, while they are ruined not only by the troubles planted in their minds, but also the huge debts on their shoulders. And our country is changing fast as we speak. Century 8, Quatrain 98, quote, "Of the churchmen the blood will be poured forth, as abundant as water in amount. For a long time it will not be restrained. Woe, woe for the clergy, ruin and grief." Although this can be used to describe many events, this being right in the middle of the cluster of quatrains made me believe this is really Nostradamus' statement about the attack. The cluster continued on to the next quatrain, Century 8, Quatrain 99, quote, "Through the power of 3 temporal kings, the sacred seat will be put in another place, where the substance of the body and the spirit will be resorted and received as the true seat." This one may not directly be related to the attack, but I think it is directly related to the changes of our nation. Why would 3 kings be mentioned? What is the sacred seat? I think I have answers. The 3 temporal kings are the 3 presidents who appointed the Supreme Court justices to the sacred seats and now hold a majority in the highest court and can put us in another place. The current Chief Justice, John Roberts Jr., was appointed by Bush Jr. in 2005. Justice Clarence Thomas was appointed by Bush Sr. in 91. Justice Sam Alito was nominated by Bush Jr. in 2005. Justice Neil Gorsuch was nominated by President Trump in 2017. And Justice Brett Kavanaugh was just nominated in 2018. If I could talk to Nostradamus, the first question I would ask is, are you a Democrat or a Republican? He used the word sharp right in Quatrain 95, but predicted it's drawing the contented ones, which kind of indicates it's drawn on the swing voters. And now the first 2 lines obviously is talking about the current Supreme Court. But the next 2 lines seem to say the substance of the body and the spirit will be resorted and received as the true seat, is to take the country back to spirituality. But maybe Nostradamus is neutral, as the next quatrain seems to paint a picture of what is to come after the change. Quote, Century 8, Quatrain 100. By the great number of tears shed, from top to bottom and from the bottom to the very top, a life is lost through a game with too much faith, to die of thirst through a great deficiency. So the picture is not too rosy. It is showing how faith without tolerance can break a country apart and rip many hearts. Then I was surprised to find the cluster continued into the next chapter, which Nostradamus calls the century. Century 9, Quatrain 1, quote, "In the house of the translator of Borg, the letters will be found on the table. One-eyed, red-haired, white, hoary-headed will hold the course, which will change for the new constable." Borg means neighborhood, a village, town, or a castle. I would think it means the house. Congress, I mean. Congressmen and women are supposed to translate the wishes of their congregate into laws to protect them. And I think the letters will be some important law to pass, to be put in front of them to decide. Could this be the impeachment? One-eyed, I think, means blind. Red-haired, according to my web search, can mean someone with a fiery temper, or it can mean redneck. White means white, but can it also mean white supremacist? Hoary-headed may just mean the gray hair, right? Then the word constable means police or governor, which led me to think the Republicans could do much better than expected in the next election. The next quatrain, Century 9, Quatrain 2, may be harder to decode. Quote, "From the top of the Aventine Hill a voice heard, 'Begone, begone all of you on both sides. The anger will be appeased by the blood of the red ones. From Rimini and Prato, the Colonna expelled.'" Aventine Hill is one of the 7 hills in Rome and may mean the divine voice. The quote seems to show the frustration of the public on both sides. The next line is very alarming, as it indicates more bloodshed from hatred. The last line can mean nothing, since Rimini, Prato, and Colonna are all names of Italian cities, but the word expelled leads me to think some deportation against Latinos. Another bold interpretation is about Puerto Rico, as PRTO are letters in both Prato and Puerto Rico, and Colonna can be a word play of colony. Will expel mean Puerto Rico will face some changes soon? Of course, Nostradamus was not the only person who saw the attack coming. This crop circle appeared in England on July 1, 2018. And 50 days later, additional artwork appeared on August the 19th, 2018, showing a Star of David in the center of the target. I don't know if we can call these warnings, as they are too vague and too hard to understand. But can you really call Nostradamus and crop circle messages nonsense? This is Ken Peters. Thank you for watching.